What is up, Scrub fam? I am back with another video. We are doing another Meta Talks. This is going to be about the ARG 5K. We're doing a breakdown video, so that means we're going to be going over the decklist from the weekend, the winners, the losers, the MVP, the rookies, and of course, we're going to be going over what is next going from here. So anyway, before I get into this video, let me give a shout out to my sponsor, Alec Pastrana and Bearded Collectibles, best sponsor on the planet, best shop owner on the planet. If you're looking at your sealed product, make sure you go to Bearded Collectibles to get your sealed product, especially with Set 5 coming out. Lots of juicy cards in there. You're going to want to go through Bearded Collectibles to get your sealed product. Also, if you want to pick up your 3XG production Scrub Fam shirt, you go to beardedcollectibles.com. Link will be down in the description. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. Weekend was pretty crazy. Crazy in the fact that there was a lot of the same cards being played on stream throughout the entire event, which was expected. If you were anyone who knows anything about the format going forward from Gen Con to this week, you knew that there were a certain amount of decks that were playable, a certain amount of decks that were unplayable, and you either showed up prepared or unprepared to play in this metagame. And so that being said, the major decks that came out to play were Red Blue SS3. If you didn't pay attention to the results of Gen Con, then you probably got hurt because, yes, Hirudegarn was the deck that ended up taking the events because Hirudegarn is very strong, but it's much easier to adapt SS3 and learn how to play the Hirudegarn matchup better than it is to actually play Hirudegarn through a full entire tournament, pilot it correctly, and then make your way all the way to the finals like Marquise McKinney did. Hard to do. Deck takes a lot of skill to pilot, especially efficiently and effectively to make sure that you win all of your games. So a lot of people are going to opt for SS3 leader. So people that showed up with blue-green SS3, mono-blue SS3, you were way behind the curve because red-blue SS3, as I've talked about before, absolutely dumpsters those two decks. So in general, metagame is pretty interesting. And of course, we finally saw Scrambling Assault Sun Goten come out to play. So before I go into the winners, losers, MVP, rookie, etc., we will go into our deck list breakdown. So first thing to note here is first deck is an Apes deck, so I don't think Apes is a bad deck whatsoever. I think it's definitely a 50-50 deck. I think it has a good shot against the large majority of the format, but you're setting yourself up to lose in Game 1 to Hard Removal and Chain Zeno. So a few things to note about this list. He's playing 2 Scrambling Assaults on Goten and 2 Caring Mother Videl. I don't know if that's just a card access issue. Maybe he didn't have access to the additional Scrambling Assaults on Gotens, but that's the only change I would make here is playing 4 of those in the main deck. Otherwise, his list is super pure. Seems pretty fine. He's playing removal in the main deck. And then otherwise, his sideboard, 3 of the 5-drop Goku, 2 Crusher Ball, 2 Great Ape King Vegeta, 2 Mass Saiyan, 2 Time Control Konoha, 4 Haru Haru. So again, 6 sideboard slots seem to be wasted here, but hopefully if he ever played against a Frieza deck, he was able to smash it. Next, Aaron Bardon. He's playing SS3 leader. So he's playing Red Blue SS3, a list very similar to Danny Hype's list, except he's playing 1-dimensional Banisher Fu in the main, 2 Saint Onslaught Kefla, 4 Topo, 4 Bean, 2 Flute. Yeah, so it's definitely a deck that was modeled off of Danny Hype's list. 2 Mafuba, 1 ability unleash. Oh, yeah, 2 Mafuba in the main. Okay. And then 1 ability unleash Ultimate Gohan in the main. I'm assuming that's just due to access to cards. Sideboard though, 4 Konoha, 2 Fu Shrouded, 1 Mafuva, 2 Haru, 2 Digging Deep, 1-dimensional Banisher. So he's running 2 Digging Deep in the sideboard. Was he running any in the main deck? Nope. All right. 4-2 is probably a really good split in your main deck and then siding in the other 2 against the mirror. But otherwise, congrats on the finish. Colin is playing SS3. Red Blue, he's playing. No, Hirudegarn. He's playing Hirudegarn. This looks like. Is it? Basically. Marcel's list? Yeah, 4 D&D, 4 Champa, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Kaba, 4 Trunks, 2 Scientist Fu, 2 Dimensional Banisher Fu, and he sideboarded Chain Zeno. Great finish, great deck. Deck is really aggressive, relies on the leader to produce a lot of the aggression, allows you to really just focus around that, similar to like how the Vegeta decks were. So no surprise that he did really well in the tournament because Rudigarn's a great deck, especially in this format. But in general, I just think that playing Chain Zeno in your main deck is the best way to combat the way that the format is right now. But overall, great finish. Nick Brady, he did the same thing. He played 2 Raging Spirits on Gohan's main, 1 Bodyguard Legend main, 2 Foreseeing Hit, and then 2 Digging Deep Vegeta instead of playing the 4 in the main. So I like this spread a little bit better. The only difference is, again, is like I think playing Chain Zeno is almost a necessary evil. So maybe take a look at the list that Marquise played at Gen Con. He played 3 Chrono on the board, 2 more Foreseeing Hit, and 3 Objection. I honestly think that post board his deck probably got better with the objections. I wonder if I'll have to talk to Nick and see how he felt about that. Antonio, he played Heightened SS3. 3 Trunks, 2 Digging Deep, 4 Hit, 2 Terrasalt Frost, 3 Kefla, 4 Raging Spirit Sun Gohan, 2 Scientist Food, 2 Burst Tech, 3 Chain Attack Trunks, 3 Topo, 4 Goku, 4 Piccolo, 3. Wait a second! Is he on my Patreon? it's like card for card. That's insane. 4 Flute, 3 Coercion, 4 Bean. Yeah, it's exactly the same exact list that I have up on the Patreon. Sideboard, 3 Legic, 2 Digging Deep, 1 Topo, 1 Whis Coercion, 2 Banisher Food, 2 Burst Stacks, and Gohan, 1 Chain Attack Trunks, 1 Terrasol Frost, 2 Mafuba. That's my exact main deck and sideboard from the Patreon. That's insane. That's cool to see. Congrats on the finish, man. Wow. Wow. Okay. Cool. That's neat. We have Morgan. He played Trunks leader, so he played red blue Trunks. 4 Kaba, 4 Trunks, 3 Bodyguard Legic, 2 Champa. I think 3 Bodyguard Legic is probably too many in game 1. 1 Burst Attack on Gohan. I could have played more. 4 Unbreakable, 4 Chain Attack, 1 for Seeing Hit. These 1-ups, man. 4 Flute, 4 Bean, 4 Unyielding, 4 Mai, 2 Boost, 2... You, that 2-2 split, man. I bet you got him a bunch. 3 Zeno, 2 times Choice, 2 Scientist Fu. Otherwise, list is fine. 2 Pilaf. Spice. 2 East Coercion, 2 Raging Spirit, 2 Cronoa, 2 Force Ejection Massane. Honestly, you probably could have sided 4, and that would have probably done you some good seeing the extra copies, but Trunks draws so many cards, you're probably fine. 2-dimensional Banisher, 1 Fearless Pan, 1 Champa, 1 for Seeing Hit. This man loves his one-ups. Amir Coleman, he played Hirudegarn, playing a similar list to... Okay, so this actually looks like a similar list to the Shenron's Layers guys, because they're playing at all cost Vegeta in the main, and then they're playing Chain Zone on the side. He has 4. Look at that sideboard, clean sideboard. But Intensifying Power Trunks not in the main deck. Whoa. 3 Legic, 3 FTC. You can cut it to 2 Legics. You can cut the Raging Spirits. Yeah, I think he could have made his list lower to the ground. Otherwise, though, it seems cool. I like the way this list kind of looks. It appeals to the eye. But in general, I think there's some ratios here that he could have shifted around. Good job, Amir. Zachary Agnes. He played Son Goku. This is SS3, I'm assuming. 1 Jiren Fist of Justice, 4 for Seeing Hit, 2 Burst Attacks on Gohan, 3 Chain Attack, 4 Intensifying Power, 3 Zeno, 3 Whis Coercion, 4 Bean, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Topo, 2 Legic, 2 Digging Deep, 4 Flute, 4 Unbreakable. Okay. I don't mind it. 2 Yajirobe's, 2 Terrasalt Frost, Coercion, Legic, 2 Digging Deep, 1 Jiren Fist of Justice, 2 Kefla, 2 Burst Attack, 1 Chain Attack Trunks. I honestly think you probably would have wanted the Keflas in the main deck. Kefla is just such a good card in so many spots. Otherwise, though, good job. The Fairest of Cloths, Trey Faircloth. The 2 Spicy Planet M2 in the main deck. I like it. I can get behind it. 4 Pride and Justice Topo, 4 Digging Deep, 2 Bodyguard Legic, 2 Burst Attack, 3 Terrasalt Frost. The 3 Terrasalt Frost is good tech. I like it. 4 for Seeing Hit, 4 Unbreakable, 3 Kefla, 3 Flute, 4 Bean, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Boost, 2 Mafuba, 3 Vegito, 2 Dimensional Banisher Fu. I honestly think you don't need the Dimensional Banisher in the main deck if you're going to be playing stuff like Terrasalt Frost in the main deck, so you probably could have played Scientist Fu in the main and been a lot better off. If you look at his sideboard is essentially just, it looks, I'm not going to be honest, it looks like just a better version of his deck. Like, if you just put those cards in and take the other ones out, I think his deck just gets dramatically better. But in general, good job, Trey, on another strong finish. That 2-round bye must have been real nice. I bet you probably enjoyed that. But yeah, I think after this tournament, after playing against Pat in the top 3 and 4 playoff, you probably learned some things. So, in general, good work. Dennis Gleason played SS3, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Boost, 4 Coercion, 4 Vegito, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Bean, 4 Boo, 4 Divine Vanquisher, 4 Yajirobe. Okay, he played Mono Blue, that's why. 1 Dragon Fist. The Singleton Dragon Fist, I bet you hated that card pretty much all day. I'd be interested to see if you didn't. 2 Scientist Food, 2 Piccolo Strategist, 2 Sidra, 2 Bodyguard Legic. So this is just straight Mono Blue. 3 Time Control, 3 Mafuba, 2 Beerus, 2 Dragon Fist, 2 Sidra, 2 Fu Shrouded, 1 Bodyguard Legic. I think between the combination of your main deck and sideboard, you probably have a really good deck. I think the thing is I think your ratios were just split between the 2 different places. But overall, the concept of the deck and the core of the deck is really strong, because I like what you're doing with relying on Inspiring Intimidator Vegito. I think you could have played 2 Mufubas in your main deck and saw a lot of success with that throughout the course of the day, because you've been able to Mufuba those threats that are really important, and then side in the additional copy. I think having Dragon Fist in the main deck, I think you just cut it. And then in general, Scientist Fu main, Fu Shrouded's good. You could do either or just based off of your strategy and how long you think your games are going, but in general, like, good concept. Eon Hill, one of the pure decks, of course. You can tell he does. Look at that. He makes it so easy to read. I appreciate it. 4 Intensifying Power Trunks, 4 Boost, 4 Burst, 4 Foreseeing Hit, 4 Pride and Justice Tova, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Chain Attack, 2 Zeno, 2 Dimensional Manager Fu, 4 Bean, 4 Raging Spirit, 2 Flute, 2 Kefla, 2 Ghost Tanks, 2 Sainkaba, 2 East Coercion. I like it. I like it. Some ratios are here or there, but otherwise, good. Sideboard, 2 Fu Shrouded, 2 Mafuba, Courageous Heart Yajirobe, Sun Goten, Family of Justice, All-Inspiring Vegito, 2 East Coercion, 1 Zen of the Playing God, and 2 Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan. I'd like to see how he sided and what he sided for what matchups, because the sideboard is pretty interesting. Otherwise, great job, Eon. Another great finish. Eric Hill, 3 Ghost Tanks, 2 East Coercion, 3 Zeno. He wanted it more. Is it 3 or 2? Yeah, he wanted it more. 3 Ghost Tanks. 2 East Coercion, 3 Zeno, 3 Raging Spirit, 4 Intensifying Power Trunks, 2 Dimensional Banisher, 2 Flute, 4 Bean, 4 Burst, 4 Foreseeing It. I like how they just play 4 of all the broken cards. Smart. 4 Breakable, 4 Chain Attack, 4 Boost, 4 Topo, 2 Digging Deep, 1 Lightning Fast Hit, and playing 3 Zeno. So he played more Zeno's main deck, and he played more Ghost Tanks main deck than Eon. I wonder if that made the difference in the mirror. Board was 2 Kaba, 2 All-Inspiring, 2 Fu Shrouded, 2 Kefla, 2 Courageous Heart Yajirobe, 2 Mafuba, 1 Wish Coercion, 1 at all costs, 1 Scientist Fu. That's an interesting sideboard. I wonder how he sided. I wonder if this is all just mirror. Looks like it might be. Jesse Jurgensen played SS3, Blue-Red. 4 Chain, 3 Zeno, 2 Kaba, 4 Intensifying Power, 4 Flute, 4 Pride and Justice, 2 Banisher, 3 Foreseeing It. This is one thing in the red-blue list, like people main decking Banisher Fu. Banisher Fu is a sideboard card a lot of the time because of the fact that the way the format is. Like, card advantage when you're playing red-blue mirrors is the most important thing, especially post-Chain Zeno. So playing Scientist Fu in the main deck probably is a better choice. 3 Foreseeing Hit. Why are you playing 3 Foreseeing Hit? Play 4. 4 Vados Assistance, 4 Boost Attack Piccolo, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Raging Spirit, 2 Burst Attack, 1 Scientist Fu, 3 Insane Onslaught Kefla, 2 Ability Unleash Ultimate Gohan. I don't get it. 4 Cronoa, 2 Vidal's Gohan's Partner, 3 Jocko, 4 Haruho, 2 Bodyguard Logic. Willie McDuffie. Red Blue SS3? Yeah. 4 Foreseeing Hit, 4 Burst Attack, 4 Zeno, 4 Chain Attack, 4 Intensifying, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2 Kefla, 1 Fu Shrouded, 1 Scientist, 2 Terror Assault, 1 Bean in the sideboard, 1 Topo in the sideboard, 1 Fu Shrouded in the sideboard, 3 Legic boarded. Interesting board. Okay. Ryan Miller played Heightened Evolution. A lot of people were trying to be cute by playing heavier red and playing Vados Assistance over Whisk Coercion, which I get it if you're trying to go heavier on the red side, but in general, Whisk Coercion is just a better negate. Unless you're being more aggressive and you want to save your Intensifying Power Trunks, but also having to split your energy between Topos and Vados Assistance, like, so now you need 3 up on your turns, 3 red, just feels bad. Especially because a lot of times you're going to want to have 2 red and a blue so you can bean when your opponent tries to attack you, so you can bean 10k and then you still have the blue axis for Whisk Coercion. 4 Intensifying Power, 4 Dependable Mom, 2 FDC. So he's lower to the ground, 4 Digging Deep, 4 Foreseeing Hit. Yeah, the highest his curve goes. I mean, he does go to 5 with the Keflas, but otherwise, if you look at the core of his deck, it's all 3 or less. Sideboard, 1 Zeno, 2 Fearless Pan, 2 Miraculous, 4 Kaba, 2 Time Ruler Toa. Cute. 2 Dimensional Manager, 2 Mass Saiyan. Jamal. Red Blue SS3. 3 Mafuba main deck, though. 2 East Coercion, 2 Flute, 4 Bean. Trying to see what else he did that was different. Aside from that, it looks, yeah, fairly standard. Sideboard, 2 Jiren, 2 Dimensional Banisher, 2 Fu Shrouded, 2 East Coercion, 1 Burst Attack, 1 Raging Spirit, 1 Pride and Justice Topo, 2 Digging Deep, 2 Time Control. So just filling in the extra slots. Ronald Mack, Red Blue SS3, 2 Coercion, 4 Bean, 4 Boost, 4 Unyielding. Oh wow, so he's more aggressive. 4 Pride and Justice, 4 Intensifying Power, 3 Burst Attack, 3 Foreseeing Hit. Play 4, just play 4, please. I beg of you. Please, play 4 Foreseeing Hit. 2 Champa, 4 Vegito. So you play 4 Vegito, but you don't play 4 Hit? That should be flipped. You know it should be. 4 Flute, 2 Scientist Food, 2 Sainkaba, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Unbreakable, 3 chain, 3 Zeno, 4 Mafuba. 4 Mafuba sided? This man wants it. 2 Lightning Facet, 2 Junior Fist of Justice, 1 Wish Coercion. Jordan Markle. He played red, yellow, SS3. Pretty sweet list. You guys should check it out. He finished 5-3 in Swiss. The thing about the red, yellow SS3 decks is they have a hard time finishing games because of how defensive they are. But in general, the deck is really hard to beat, especially in the SS3 mirrors. Sideboarded Sensubine. Crazy. Pat O'Neill, a man after my own heart. Congrats on your 3rd place, baby. Your main deck is beautiful. I enjoyed so much spending time working on this deck with you, making it so both you and I were able to get really strong finishes out of the build that we worked on together, and your choices were awesome. Your sideboard was awesome. Nothing else to say. Congrats to you, and I look forward to continue working with you as we move forward. Philip Pena played Heightened Evolution. 4 Dignity, 4 Raging Spirit, 3 Kefla, 2 Dimensional Banisher. Should have just been Scientist View. I think you probably felt that throughout the day. 4 Hit, 4 Topo, 4 Unbreakable, 3 Flute, 3 Burst, 4 Coercion, 4 Boost, 4 Bean, 3 Zeno, 4 Chain Attack, 2 Mafuba, 2 Jiren, 2 Fu Shrouded, 3 Terror Assault, 3 Belegic, 3 Awe-Inspiring Vegito. Danny, 1st place. Congrats, man. 2 Flute, 3 Raging Spirit, 2 Mafuba, 2 Mafuba main, 3 Zeno, 4 Bean, 4 Boost, 4 Coercion, 2 Topo. Man, this guy. 1 FTC main, 3 Burst Attack, 3 Kefla. He caught a lot of people by surprise with this configuration, I bet. Prep for the mirror for sure. 4 Intensifying, 1 Fu Shrouded, 2 Scientist Fu, and then sided, Terror Assaults, Jirens, Digging Deeps. I like it. Jose Ortiz, he played blue-yellow Trunks. Again, I have my concerns with this configuration of the deck. I don't think you need the additional blockers. I also think you should be switching to Boost Attack Piccolo because you're going to need it more so to draw the cards than anything else, guaranteed on defense. Successor of Hope and Testing, I feel like it can come down to 3 now. 4-time Peripheral Trunks, I think you could split that down to 3 and play 3 Scientist Fu in the main. The 1 minus Achilles Zone is cute. You do need 2 FDCs. I'd play a 3rd Planet Vegeta. 4 Bardic Pretender is good. 3 Iron Will is good. Everything else, though, solid. But again, I would just make those changes. I watched a lot of his games, a lot of his draws. He was glutted with blockers a large majority of the time. Those are the only changes I would make. 3 Cronoa, 2 East Coercion, 4 Forced Ejection, could call 2 Dimensional Banisher, 2 Crush Ball, 2 Nimbus. Fair. Joey Palladino played red, blue, SS3. Yep. 4 Boost, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Topo, 3 Intensifying Power, 4 Kefla, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Chain Attack, 4 Foreseeing Hit, 3 Zeno, 3 Digging Deep, 2 Dimensional Banisher, 2 Burst Attack. Again, play Scientist Fu in the main. 4-3-2. Sideboard 2 Fu Shrouded, 1 Digging Deep, 2 FTC, 3 Mafuba, 1 Intensifying Power, 2 Burst Attack, 3 Logic, 1 Coercion. Arturo play red blue SS3, right? Yep, 2 Flute. This is basically almost like a standard KTM list. 3 Zeno, 3 Kefla, 2 Dimensional Banisher, should just be Scientist Fu. 4 Foreseeing Hit, 4 Pride and Justice, 4 Chain, 4 Unbreakable, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Burst. Okay. Sideboarded 2 Coercions, 3 Yajirobis, 3 Sun Goten, 3 Ghost Attack, 2 Fu, and 2 Awe-Inspiring. Alejandro played red blue SS3, no surprise. Only 2 Foreseeing Hits though. Mans! Get on it. What are you doing? It's not nerves that lost you, man. It's not nerves that lost you the game. It's the fact that you're not playing 4 copies of the best card in your deck. 4 Boost Attack, 4 Raging Spirit, 4 Bean, 3 Coercion, 4 Flute, 3 Zeno, 4 Chain Attack, 4 Digging Deep, 3 Intensifying Power, 3 Burst Attack, 4 Pride and Justice, 2 Saint Onslaught Kefla, 2 Foreseeing Hit, 4 Unbreakable, 2 Scientist Fu, and sided 2 Planet M2s. Sideboard's pretty cute. Kareem, he played red, yellow, SS3 as well. 3 Scrambling Assault Sun Goten, 3 Dependable Moms, 2 Source Power Sun Goku, 2 Digging Deep. Look at all these 2 ofs, 2 Foreseeing Hit. Play 4, please. 4 Kefla. 4 Kefla, but not 4 Hit. That seems weird to me. You could play 3 or 2 Kefla and be just fine. 4 Boost, 4 Unbreakable, 2 Mecha Frieza, 2 Dimensional Banisher, 4 Chain Attack, 2 Zeno, 4 Pride and Justice, 4 Nimbus. Super defensive build. 2 Vados Assistants, 4 Roshi, 4 Nimbus, 4 Taupe. He's got 4, 8, 12, 14 negates, 2 Crusher Balls. Man, you gotta trim down some of those negates, man. Congrats on the finish, but you probably had a hard time finishing some games. 3 Cronoa, 2 Fushirada, 1 Digging Deep, 1 Source of Power, 1 Zed. Look at all these 1-ofs in the side just to fill out curve. Interesting. Raymond played SS3. He played blue-green. 2 Auto Cost Vita, 4 Combo Killer, 4 All Inspiring. Huh. Good for him. Chris Sock. Blue-red SS3, 4 Chain, 4 Raging, 4 Kefla, 4 Digging Deep. Lots of 4s. 4 Energy Boosted Boo, 4 Burst Stack, 4 Unbreakable, 3 Zeno, 4 Topo. Wait a second. Am I reading this right? He played 0 for seeing hits? Okay. I've seen it all. Don't play 4 copies of your best card. Chris Sock, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you just like top cut like with no issues. Insane. Chris, blue-red SS3. Richard Zapp, blue-red SS3. Shoutouts with Singleton Legendary Flute, the Singleton Super Sigma. This guy. Love this guy. 2 Jiren, 2-dimensional Banisher, 2 Super Sigma sideboard. Look at the side. Look at it. Look, just, that's insane. John, blue-red SS3, 4 for seeing hits. Appropriate number. Nicholas, blue-red SS3. Okay, cool. So lots of blue-red SS3 as you see through all the deck list. Now we can go over the winners, the losers of the weekend, your MVP cards, etc. Winner of the weekend, Hype Squad. Danny Hype, congrats on the big win. First major tournament win, first real trophy. Amazing job to you and your team at Kitchen Table Meta. You guys crushed it this weekend. But again, props to you, Player of the Year. And then the same exact weekend, you also win this huge tournament, take home the grand prize and the trophy. Amazing job, Danny Hype. You deserve every bit of it. Losers of the weekend, blue-green SS3. Not just blue-green SS3, but basically any deck that came that wasn't blue-red SS3 or wasn't a blue-yellow aggro deck, because you got lost in the fray. Because it's like, I can't beat one and I can't beat the other, and then now I'm just stuck. There's nothing I can do, and there's decks that are just better than me at all times. As you saw, there was one blue-green SS3 deck in top 32. The rest was all blue-red and mono-blue. Right? And then I think there's one mono blue. So, like, deck diversity, like, of course it's a problem, but you showed up with the wrong set of weapons to fight this metagame. So, losers of the weekend, blue-green SS3, mono-blue SS3. Basically, any SS3 deck that wasn't playing for Seeing Hit, Chain Attack Zeno, you were the losers of the weekend because you fell prey to the metagame itself. You didn't come prepared. As good as you thought your decks were, your decks weren't ready. You didn't pay attention to the results of the past weekend, or you just ignored them, or didn't test enough, or whatever it is. Maybe you just felt comfortable, and that's a thing that I get. Feeling comfortable with your deck is important to you, but when you're playing in a format where the person that can do the most powerful thing the fastest wins, you need to make sure you're playing a deck that can also play that game. So not playing for Seeing Hit just feels bad. Not playing Chain Attack Center just feels bad. So again, losers of the weekend, blue-green SS3, mono-blue SS3. Sorry, guys. MVP for Seeing Hit is the MVP. He's always the MVP. I know everyone's like, Chain Attack Zeno is so broken. Chain Attack Zeno is great. Chain Attack Zeno is busted. But you know what's more busted? Is after I do that, I play a card that lets me look at your hand, snipe your hand, and then I can choose how I want to win the game. That's even more busted. I read an article about this card and how important it is and how powerful it is. And it went pretty deep into how strong this card is. So if you don't think that this is the best card in the game or the best paddle card in the game right now, especially with SS3 leader being one of the only playable leaders, then you're mistaken, because this is the best card in the game. It does the most. It reveals information. It allows you to play with perfect information. This is the only card in the game that does that, and does this to this degree. I mean, yeah, there's the Mecha Frieza 4-drop that looks at your opponent's hand and you put a card in rest mode. That's way worse than warping to those cards for an entire turn. So for Seeing Hit, MVP. Rookie of the weekend, Scrambling Assault on Goten, yeah! He came out to play this weekend. We saw some blue-yellow decks, not enough. There were not enough blue-yellow decks at this tournament, and that's why Red-Blue ran away with the event itself, because they were not getting killed before their 4th energy, which is what the blue-yellow decks are meant to do. So, blue-yellow from here on out is going to be tier 0.5, or even S tier, you don't even know, but blue-yellow Storm, blue-yellow Taxes, all these decks are just incredibly powerful. They all prey on decks that try to get to 4 or more energy because of how fast they are, and Scrambling Assaults on Goten had a really good coming out party this weekend with Jose Ortiz getting good results with his deck itself. Of course, we talked about ways to optimize that as we move forward, but in general, this card came out to play this weekend, and it's going to be something that hugely impacts the metagame as we move forward when it comes to deck selection. And now, level check, right? So we're going to talk about the levels in the format. Level 1 now is Blue-Red SS3. So any deck that you are playing or you want to build or you want to brew has to be able to beat Blue-Red SS3. That's number 1 on your list. You have to be able to beat it, combat it, absolutely smash it before you can even make your deck something that you can play in a tournament. Number 2 is Blue Yellow Storm. Blue Yellow Storm is number 2 because it counters Blue Red SS3. And so now, if you want to build a deck, you have to think about those two things. You have to think about Blue Red SS3 and Blue Yellow Storm. And right now, those are the two main strategies right now. I would say there's a third, but I honestly cannot tell you what the third strategy is that is something that is just better than what these two decks do. What is the level 3 deck? Because there's just so few options now that Goten is out. Now that you've had these tournaments and you see how dominant Red Blue SS3 is with Foreseeing, Hit, and Chain Zeno, you have to play a deck that is either going right between them, is able to beat both of them, or you're playing a deck that is either going to fall prey to one but have a really strong matchup against the other. But in general, this was an amazing weekend for Dragon Ball. Danny Hype, absolutely incredible weekend. Glad he came out with the victory. I know with deck diversity at this ARG event, there wasn't a ton because of the amount of Blue-Red SS3 you saw on camera, but there was a lot of skill involved in those games. A lot of great players made some great plays and led to some really great experiences for everybody. The stream, Good Times, did an amazing job with the stream. I thought their commentary was great. I did jump over to the other channel that was doing commentary, and at times they had some opportunities, which I'm sure you guys probably noticed as well. But in general, I'm really hoping that Good Times gets to spend more time doing streams because I thought that they set a really good standard of how events should be ran from a stream perspective, how commentary should be done, how color commentary should be done, and I really enjoyed it. But otherwise, this was an amazing weekend for Dragon Ball. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and look forward this week on the Patreon and videos this week. I'm going to be doing some testing, playing, and if you're a 1337 patron, you need to get with me about scheduling your playtest session. We have to get those done. I'm free every evening. So tomorrow I'm free after 7:30. Tuesday through Friday I'm free after 7 p.m. and then I'm good for the weekend as well. Just reach out to me. We'll set that up. $4.20 patrons. Make sure you hit me up with your deck list for the month so we can go ahead and brew those and tune those and get those ready for your local shops this weekend because we have this, this format's changing. It's evolving. We need to adapt to it as well. In general, look forward to all the content coming from 3X Street Productions. Be sure to go to Beard Collectibles, get all your sealed product as well as your 3XG Scrub Fam shirt. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. Scrub Fam is best fam. DBS community is best community. Okay, bye!